Yo guys, what is going on? Insanity coming at you today with the vendor reset for the division for the week of May 26, 2017. And yes, I know we've had a lot of vendor changes due to update 1.6.1, so it's almost like 3 vendor resets in a week, but more importantly, let's go ahead and start things out down at the base of operations in the terminal, and we're going to start out with the exotics, the Historian. Decent headshot damage, and this thing is definitely rolled with some good stuff. You got brutal, destructive, and history repeats. You can only roll brutal and destructive. I would say go ahead and test your water, see what it's like, and see what you can get out of it. Now, the big pick of the week is the Liberator, 23% enemy armor damage with destructive, brutal, and deadly. This thing doesn't have the best base damage in the world, but this is more or less the best Liberator I have ever seen, next to the 24% enemy armor damage one that came out a few weeks back. Next thing on the list is this Reclaimer Mask, and it's an electronics roll with skill power. Next, Predator's Mark knee pads, 1498 armor, enemy armor damage. It's a stamina roll, and it's got damage to elites as well. So with damage to elites and enemy armor damage, again, Predator's Mark, one of the biggest pieces out there right now. Definitely go ahead and pick this thing up if you're wanting to try and do that with the striker build. 2-piece pred, 4-piece striker, whatever. Next stop on the list, we're going to be making our way on over to Hudson, where again, I was debating. I really couldn't tell if I wanted to go ahead and try and make this my item of the week, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with the Liberator because I'm all about the exotics and what those bring to the table. This C97 scope, crit hit damage, crit hit chance, headshot damage, and with 18% critical hit damage, I would highly recommend buying a couple of these and put these on the majority of your guns. It's definitely going to do some really decent work when it comes to your DPS and trying to take down enemies with simple headshots. Now, moving on, we're going to be making our way on over to the Cavern Safe House, where you're going to be able to pick up a chess piece that a lot of people may consider a crazy theory. It works for some, it may work for others, I have no idea. But more importantly, it is a vigorous chess piece with firearms, enemy armor damage, and health. You can go ahead and roll away the kill XP for ammo, just so that you have a pretty good rolled, almost god rolled due to the 1268 firearms chess piece for group play. I mean, from what I understand, if you're playing solo, you run Barrett's chess piece. If you're playing with a group, you run Vigorous chess piece. That way, you can go ahead and try and heal the skills to their overheal status, which is always nice, and a great way to go ahead and try and help out the entire team. Now, the next stop, we're going to go ahead and make our way on over to the Meat Locker, where we're going to find the fan favorite weapon that so many people still try and use today, although it's kind of a forgotten favorite at this point. It is the LVOA-C. 23% enemy armor damage with destructive, competent, and determined. Again, you can go ahead and try and roll this thing on multiple ways to try and fit your build, but I would say overall, get rid of determined, put on something that you really want to use. Brutal, deadly, one of those two I would go with myself, but overall you can try and test the waters and see what you can come up with the recalibration station. Don't miss that if you're still an old school fan of the LVOA-C. Again, would I pick that over the Liberator this week? I would get them both, just because I'm a sucker for M4 anyway, so yeah. Next stop on the list is going to be over in the bottom right of the world map at the Ward Safe House, and at this lovely little vendor here, you're going to be able to try and pick up a specific piece of gear that is, I would consider, a must for those who do Firecrest builds, do anything to do with turrets whatsoever. 7% turret health on this particular piece of gear. And if you're running a turret, you always know people are going to try and focus fire on that thing to try and get rid of it as fast as they can. So try and mix that up with the Vigorous chess piece and that particular performance mod, and you're going to do wonders for yourself. Next thing on the list is going to be the West 46th Street Safe House. Yes, we're making our way on over to the DZ now, and this particular Dark Zone vendor is going to give you straight access to the MP7. This thing is really nice with 22.5 critical hit chance, ferocious, and 2 other things that almost make it amazing: dominant and responsive. Dominant, get rid of it, swipe it on out of there, and put deadly on that thing, because we all know if you're running an MP7 with ferocious, which is great, but also deadly, put that on with a striker build, get that crit hit chance all the way up, and responsive is only going to help you out, especially with a shield build as well. So again, that is a weapon that you don't have to try and roll over at the crafting station when you can pick it up right now from the DZ vendor. Last spot we're going to go ahead and take on over is East 61st Street, where you're going to find another site, the 12 times VX1. This thing's got 18.5% headshot damage, critical hit chance, and critical hit damage. This is pretty much going to round everything out. If you haven't already tried to pick up any of this stuff, get it before the week is over. There's a ton of really good stuff, and it's a great way. I would consider this a buff week. If you have a piece of gear that you haven't wanted to get rid of, you could probably find something that's a little bit better. Like if you haven't, sub if you're new, turn on your mobile notifications, you know when I go live, and I will see you all in the next one.